friends, this is a video that I have been wanting to do for a very long time. I know when I first started my channel, I had so many ladies asking me, you know, about my skin and, oh yeah, beautiful skin, and all kinds of comments about that. And I know I'm so sorry it's taken me this long to finally touch on this subject. I just think that I was just trying to adjust so much of my lifestyle being on the road, and I had a lot of challenges physically and emotionally to adjust to that I'll get into later in another video on that subject. And so there's so many things I wanted to talk about, but I just had to work so many other things out. And so now I'm ready to talk about more topics and subjects and things like that. What I go through or how to survive in this lifestyle, okay? Remember, some people go into this lifestyle and they choose it and they want to do it. I mean, I've always loved camping, traveling, as I mentioned, and always dreamed about doing this lifestyle, but at the same time, I was really pushed into it because of my disabilities and losing my job, and then my roommate situation that fell apart, and I was trying to keep me and my dogs together. So there was quite an adjustment that I had to go through in this lifestyle. And so, but one of them that I've always done is been mindful about taking care of my skin, okay? So I'm going to go over some things that I learned before I even went into this lifestyle, and then things that I do more so because of this lifestyle, okay? But one of the things that I'm finding in this lifestyle is the most challenging is keeping the skin clean, obviously. I mean, I boondock though out in some remote places. It's dirt, it's, you know, desert, it's mountain dirt and desert dirt. I mean, I find that no matter how much I try to clean myself, you know, sometimes you don't always feel as clean unless you really get in and take these wonderful long showers, which in my world, it doesn't come that often unless I'm passing through a campground or I can get somewhere like that and plug in, you know, or not plug in, but you know, get to, actually, well, there's two, you can go and plug in, and sometimes when I'm traveling by myself, I will make a point to go and stay in a campground and use their facilities. Now, also, traveling more with Kent, what I'll do occasionally is go off and then say, okay, well, I need a shower. Like I just did this in Utah, where I said I really want a shower. We were near a campground, and so I was able to go and just pay $3 and go have a nice leisure type, you know, well, sometimes leisure. Depends on how well the shower works, on if you're going to get a really good shower or not. But it's worth whatever, just to have that running water that we take for granted when you're in a stick and brick house. Yeah, it's, I don't always get that opportunity, but I have other means of keeping clean. I do have, I'll have to do another video on that subject, but I have, well, one is the baby wipes. I mean, yes, always, oh my gosh, stock up on those. I have those all the time. And you can do the old-fashioned, you know, bucket method and, you know, boiling water and, you know, kind of have that. And again, I'll do that in a whole separate one, or I have a weed sprayer. I could get outside and using soap that's environmental friendly. Again, that's coming up, and I'll do a whole different video on that one, which can help to keep clean. But probably the most common method that I do on the road is because I like to keep my skin clean as much as possible, is I use the baby wipes, okay? That is probably my #1 method of keeping my skin clean, because again, it is so dirty in this lifestyle. You can see I just cleaned up, and I mean, you can see how dirty, I mean, that dirt just comes off, but it's so important to get that dirt off. Can you see? It is to keep your skin breathing too, okay? I also pick products that are hypoallergenic. For one, I have allergies. Secondly, is it's better for your skin. The less, remember, less is more to our bodies. So less ingredients, you know, less fragrant stuff. We really don't, our bodies don't need all that fragrant stuff. We really don't. So it's more harmful for our skin, because remember, your skin is one of the largest organs of your body, and it absorbs whatever it is you put onto your body or touch, okay? So this is for sensitive skin. You're going to see fragrance-free, or I'll get things that say hypoallergenic. Always looking for products like that, okay? So, yeah, so, you know, I clean up in the morning and I clean up at night, because when you're out there during the day and the wind is blowing, and I mean, there's dirt that's going to go into the air sometimes, and it's going to get onto your skin. And more so because we are using, you know, sunscreens and products like that, you know, is going to make it more susceptible to, you know, have that dirt cling on to you. But it's more important to have that sunscreen and to keep yourself lotioned up. So you do want to, you know, I use like twice a day if you can, just, you know, wipe, clean. Just keep yourself as clean as possible, okay? So in the morning, and I'm not going to do everything because I'm just going to more or less show and talk, because to keep the video at a reasonable length of time, okay? So I'll come back to this in just a second, but probably the hardest thing that I have found is taking care of my nails. Now, for one, I don't have long nails, never had long nails. Has nothing to do with this lifestyle. There's something in my body, and no matter what I've tried, vitamins, supplements, I don't care out there. There is just nothing so far that has been able to make my nails strong and durable. So they're very soft. They break, they're brittle, they just, I mean, brittle is kind of like, sometimes they'll be super soft, like you could just push in, or they just break, you know. It's just, I just can't keep long nails. So they're always kind of short, but that, again, has nothing to do with this lifestyle. But the one thing I'm finding out is keeping them clean. I mean, I'll clean them by the end of the day, and I feel bad because sometimes I'm filming and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, my nails got dirt in them already. And so that has just been a constant battle that I find. So I do always, you know, I keep a toothbrush. I always keep something that I can, you know, clean in my nails and just scrub and do the best I can trying to keep my nails clean. But it is probably my biggest battle is maybe keeping that clean and feeling clean with my nails, okay? So any kind of brush, you want to have a brush on hand. I use just an old toothbrush, and then keep, you know, I trade out my toothbrushes, and then I'll just keep trading out the old toothbrush to clean inside and around my nails, okay? I don't use anything special to do that, just hand soap with a little bit of water, you know, in a cup. That's all I do, and then I can just dip in there and clean my nails, okay? So that is something that I'll do. Okay, and then after I clean my body, okay, or, you know, the whole body and everything, so clean that, then after that is done, I do something different sometimes during the night than during the day. So as far as lotion products, I actually love the Gold Bond. Now, I am diet controlled diabetic, and sometimes we have a tendency to, or have to protect our feet a little bit more. And so this is an extra dry skin relief. It really helps, they say, to soothe diabetic dry skin or around the feet and stuff like that. I actually just I like the feeling of it because it doesn't feel greasy. So you see, it's non-greasy. I'm always looking for things like that. I don't like that greasy feeling. And again, hypoallergenic, okay? And so I'm just always looking for things like that. It comes out a little bit thick, but yet you don't feel greasy, and I just love it. I just feel so much better after I put it on, and I'm always constantly putting it, especially on my hands. But so I have two kinds, this one here and the diabetic one, but I'm always looking for the Gold Bond products for a lotion. So I'll lotion my skin up, and then I always reach for a sunscreen. So I will use a 50, sometimes even a 70. So it just depends on, if I think I'm going to be spending a little more time in the sun than another time. On an average, mostly I use the 50, but I always have shade going on. I always protect my skin from the sun some way. Got to be either sitting inside with my doors open, put a shade thing out, or I'm over at Kent's and he has shade that's always set up. So always protecting that skin somehow, okay? If I think that for whatever reason that day I might be in the sun a little bit more, then I'll use the 70. And again, I always pick fragrance-free, hypoallergenic, won't clog pores. I'm always looking for things like that because you want your skin to be able to breathe as much as possible, even though we're having to use these products. So this is the same thing, hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, won't clog pores. This one here is water resistant. So yeah, so this is waterproof too. So again, this is by Coppertone. I mean, I'm not picky about a product or a name brand product as much as I am as looking for those things, okay? So that's kind of what I'll do for my body, okay? We want to protect the lips as much as possible. I do use a sunblock in my chapstick, so I have a SPF 15 in my chapstick, but sometimes I'll even do a little of the 50 up and around the mouth and onto the lips if I'm going to be out in the sun a little bit more away from the shade. If I'm going to be in the shade a little bit more, then, this is just fine. The one thing I'm not sure of that I wanted to mention is or women that wear lipstick, because I don't wear lipstick and I don't wear like skin toners, so I'm not sure if there's any lipsticks out there that have a sunscreen, but I would definitely be, if you're going to be wearing that, is to be looking for that, or maybe you could put this underneath and then your lipstick over the top of it. But you really want to protect your lips as much as possible when you're in the sun. And the same thing with the toner. I actually had to look to see if the toners had sunscreen in them, and I did see they do because I don't wear them. But most of them had the 15, which is what my moisturizer has, the 15 SPF, sorry. But again, even sometimes I'll use, a higher number over the moisturizer if I'm going to be out in the sun a little bit more, which could be a little bit harder to do with the toners unless you put I don't know if you could do that. You could put a 50 and then your toner on top of it. I don't know, maybe some ladies can make a comment down below if that is possible. And again, I don't wear toners. I never got into a lot of heavy makeup, and only reason is I heard actually it's harder on the skin and it clogs up the pores more and it makes your skin harder to breathe. And I've always just been one to stay as natural as possible. That was just me, my personality. And I've always been doing things outdoors. When I was a teenager, I had horses, I was out at the stable. You just couldn't wear that kind of stuff because we'd be riding our horses and dirt would be kicking up, and that stuff would be just stuck under your face. And so it's just always been my lifestyle, and being outdoors more most of my life and doing things like that it just didn't go together with my lifestyle. And yeah, so but maybe some ladies can make a comment if maybe that could be an option of putting a higher number sunscreen underneath a toner. Or do you know that there actually is something out there that has a higher sun protection than 15 in the toners? Because I actually did Google it. I mean, I thought, well, I wanted to know. I was just kind of curious out there so I could kind of help everybody out there, even the ladies that wear the toner, because again, I don't think 15 sometimes is high enough if you are out in the sun a lot. The 50-70 is what you're really going to want to shoot for. Yeah, so anyways, well, I'm going to keep this into a two-part series, so stay tuned actually for the next part when I get into more of my skin protection on my face and the moisturizer and how I take care of more of my face, okay, and what kind of products I use. All right, so I look forward to seeing you then on part 2 of taking care of our skin in this lifestyle. And I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you, and I appreciate everyone out there for watching and for subscribing to my channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and together we can make a difference with my favorite charities, Wilderness on Wheels and Meals on Wheels of America.